Hi, Brett Larson from WDCX. We're just hanging out today with the Hendersons, Dan and Laurie Henderson of Henderson Real Estate, talking about some questions because real estate's a tricky thing. And it's a tricky market in Western New York, in the Buffalo area. If you live in Western New York, you understand that you've probably heard about it from friends and other people. So I wanted to ask them a few questions today that might benefit you and also maybe give you a little bit of reason and thinking to contact Dan and Laurie. So Dan and Laurie, I have a couple things written down, a couple of areas that I wanted to cover. One of the things that I've experienced in my own family is a family member wants to sell their home. They're getting ready to sell their home, and they think they know what they need to do to sell it because they're like, well, people want this, but they're not real estate agents. They're not out in the community understanding and seeing this every day, so they don't really know. Is there benefit and to asking you before doing anything, and what types of things should people be looking for before they sell their home? Either one of you.
Very popular question.
Very popular question.
Absolutely.
Good. So then hopefully a lot of people will have the same one. So.
Correct. Yeah, no, we love questions. We love and we embrace questions. And when it comes to listing a home, we usually try to meet with somebody at the beginning phase when they're thinking about selling their house, so that we can walk through with them and discuss things that are worth doing and aren't worth doing. Not only do we know the real estate market, but we know the construction market, we know the return on homes. And so we try to advise our clients what to do, what not to do, based on what they're going to get a return on. So if they're thinking about replacing their whole kitchen, they may not need to in this market because houses are selling even with a little bit outdated kitchen for top dollar. However, if there's, let's say, some flooring that's in rough shape, we can advise them on that. Maybe loud colors on the wall, repainting to something neutral. So we try to advise them ahead of time on the best to get the best return for their home.
Well, that's good. They might put $20,000 or $30,000 into something that they may never get that back. Like, oh, let's redo this kitchen, and you go in and say, no one cares. They're not, like, it doesn't change a thing, and you just wasted your money.
We see people that take projects on that they don't need to take on all the time. Yeah. And we just like cringe because we're like, if only we had talked to you sooner.
Yeah, and I don't know about other people out there, but I don't need more projects that are pointless. So contact them before you do anything because you're going to end up wasting your time and energy. Okay, another question that I think of all the time, and in talking just in general with everyday people who aren't involved in real estate, we have this question, and that is, okay, they've had a bad experience with a real estate agent, myself included, over the years. Like, bad experience with a real estate agent. And so I either try to do it on my own, or I'm fearful of having another bad experience, or how do I make sure that this real estate agent is going to actually treat me well? Like, I'm sure you've had bad run-ins with other people in the industry, or you've seen it, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. There's a big difference between a realtor that goes into business and business owners that go into real estate. We're serial entrepreneurs. We own several different companies. And so for us, going into the real estate market was a passion for helping people, not just for a way to make money. Mm-hmm. And so we brought those principles of honesty and integrity into the real estate market and treat our clients as a client. The tough part is when a realtor treats their client as a hobby, and they don't return phone calls, they don't return emails, they don't take them to homes that are actually what they're looking for. They just take them to a house. They try to push them into buying a house that's way out of their budget because it might make a difference on that realtor's commission. We took all of that out of it. We would rather tell a client, hey, let's walk away from this, than let's just keep going and try and pay more for it, things like that. So it's the honesty and integrity that we've brought to the industry. I
love the stories you tell about, hey, listen, we're going to set a price, and if this goes over that, I'm going to drag you out of that house. You're not,
that's right.
Because we're going to take the emotion out of it.
Yep.
And that's such a big thing because a lot of times real estate agents, they need that money, they need that little paycheck, and so they're pushing a client to take an offer that maybe they shouldn't take, or to buy a house that's too much or whatever.
And in multiple bid situations, it gets very emotional, and you don't want to make an emotional decision to the highest price tag
that you're going to pay for 30 years.
Right.
I mean, it's like...
It's the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life.
Yeah. One of the things that we do with our buyers, before it gets to that situation, is we do research on the home prior to it. So whether it's before or after we show them the house, before we put an offer together, we're running comps on it, comparative market analysis, looking at the numbers on it, seeing what the value of the home is. Because while in this market you may have to go over list price, we don't want to see you upside down in a house. Mm-hmm. So I may, or Laurie may be the bearer of bad news and say, hey, listen, this house is way over its market value. It's not worth what they're trying to get for it. And we don't advise buying this house at that price. And in trying to bring fiscal responsibility to it on behalf of our client.
Well, in that same vein of integrity, you were just telling me, Dan, about a house you were in a few days ago, I guess, that you looked at one of the walls, and because of your construction background, you could tell that wall was supposed to be load bearing, and you were able to put a level on it and say something's wrong with this house, and able to save the client a lot of hassle. Correct.
Yeah, it was something that I had noticed walking down a hall, and I had said something about it, and the client said, "Oh, I don't know if it's really off," and so I took out the level on my phone and put it on the wall, and then walked over to a bedroom door and tried to pull it closed, and it wouldn't close, and sure enough, it was off. So it saved them a huge headache, a lot of money.
So to swing around to our first question of, is it worth getting a real estate agent? Well, in the case with the Hendersons, you're getting more than a real estate agent. You're getting experience. You're getting, not just Dan, you're getting Laurie too, to provide the soft side and to understand a woman's perspective. And that's so important. The fact that you guys are a couple doing this, I think that's such an advantage for people.
Well, it's a lot of fun when we get to go together on a showing, because where I may look at it from the construction perspective of the home, I always say Laurie's great at helping you make this house a home. She can see what I can't see from what this could be and how to make it that way. So it's definitely a great advantage getting to work together.
Such a benefit to working with Dan and Laurie Henderson of Henderson Real Estate. And we're so grateful for you, just on camera and on the video. I want to say this. We're so grateful for your support for Christian Radio and for WDCX. More needed today than ever, just like honest real estate. Christian Radio is so needed today, and your support helps us make it happen. And your support and your ability, number one, it's going to benefit you if you're selling or you're buying a house. It's going to benefit you to go with them. And you'll help them realize that their investment in WDCX is paid off. So I encourage you, contact Dan and Laurie Henderson of Henderson Real Estate today. You can do so by going to WDCXradio.com, click on advertisers, and then you'll see Henderson Real Estate right there. You click on it, you'll get more information about Henderson Real Estate. There's a form right there you can fill out. And if they want to go direct to your website, what's the website?
homewiththehendersons.com.
Or your email is?
info@homewiththehendersons.com.
That's really difficult. info@homewiththehendersons.com. All right, well, thank you for just a couple of minutes of your time.
Thank you.
Love
Thanks
your
for
home.
coming.
And we got to drink Dan's special espresso out of the Home with the Hendersons mug. So we are big time today.